Namah.
Namaste. Professor Hewitt, Gerard, will you please? Yeah, good. So, as discussed earlier, as I had mentioned earlier in my previous talk, Professor Gerard Hewitt is here. He has developed this website, the Heritage platform, where you can analyze any Sanskrit text at the morphological level, as well as it shows the Sandhi Vicheda. So today in his talk, he will be explaining you, he will be demonstrating you how to use his segmenter for the Sanskrit texts. There are several nitty-gritties that we need to understand in order to use it efficiently. Professor Gerard Huey is a computer scientist, and he is now superannuated. He is retired and an emeritus professor still with the institute by name INRIA, which is one of the important labs in France. For last more than 20, almost 25 years, he has been working on the development of this computational platform. And here is uh, the most efficient segmenter, I should say, for Sanskrit, which he has developed, which works very fast. Give a sentence, any shloka from Kalidas or when Kadambari or whatever, and you will get the analysis. Just the moment you submit, you get all possible analysis. And sometimes the number of possible analysis go beyond the maximum number machine can store, machine can represent. So, well, so over to Professor Gerard. Uh, Welcome to this gathering, and uh, you may start your presentation now. You are not audible. Earlier you were, but now you are not audible.
Hear me?
Yeah, we can. Yes.
All right. Well, good evening, everybody in India. Good morning, everybody in America. I would like to thank the organizers to give me this opportunity to present my tools. As Amba Madam said, I am not a Sanskrit scholar. I'm not a pandit by any means. I am a learner of Sanskrit. But I'm not a learner to learn how to speak the language, yes, because Sanskrit is not of much use for everyday traveling in India, you know. Telugu is much better, for instance. But I'm interested in India because of its rich literature, incredibly rich literature. So since I'm a computer scientist and I don't have any pandit living near my home, I strove to make a few computer tools, some software that would help me reading the text. So this is what I'm going to present shortly. Let me share my screen. Yes, you should be able to see my screen here. And in my navigator, I have two windows open. Yes, they look very similar. They are not quite the same. On the left, you have the Sanskrit Heritage site, the public site. So you see the difference here. There is the counter of hits. And this counterfeits increased tremendously during the last few days because of this audience. So I'm very happy. And on the right, I have the mirror site on my Amrita workstation. Yes, so this is my local site. We see one more difference. Here it says N for English, and here it says FR for French. The difference is not very obvious because both pages are written in English. But what is meant is that the reference lexicon in which you look up the entries when you do the parsing, here go in the Monier-Williams Sanskrit English Dictionary, and on my site it goes to the Sanskrit Heritage Dictionary, which is a Sanskrit French dictionary. Okay, so let us demonstrate first the index of the dictionaries. So here, if I go in the index, this page has a green bar at the bottom, and this is the control panel of the site. So in order to go to the index, I pressed here. And here, let us look for Kadambari. Kadambari, this incredible work by Bana. Here you get, and here you get it in the Monier-Williams site. Okay, Kadambari, all it says is that it's a feminine of Kadambara. So you got to move up a little bit, then you see the whole entry. And here, if I, here, the whole thing, Kadambara, and here you even have Devnagari. So if you want to enter the site in Devnagari, you just put it in Devnagari, and then you indicate here on this menu, Devnagari, then you search, and then you get the entry, Kadambara. Okay, here on my French site, now the lexicon access is written heritage, other choice between heritage and Monier-Williams. Here, if I ask Kadambari, oh, here I have Sanskrit made easy. So on the French site, you can write Kadambari in some kind of, phonetic spelling, and you get it. All right. So here we see that there is more information about Kadambari than in the English dictionary. The English dictionary, Monier-Williams, has a kind of minimum description of the meanings of the words, whereas here I have a little bit of encyclopedic knowledge about Kadambari. See, it tells about the Apsara, Kadambari, and Maheshwata, and Pundarika, and Chandrapida. So you can use this hypertext description in order to navigate and see who's Pundarika and how is associated with Sri and so on. So you get some of the flavor of the poetic meanings of the text. Now, of course, you will probably prefer the English one because you understand English and not French, but with the use of Google Translate, you can easily translate here, and probably at some point we shall have an English version of this dictionary as well. So you have all this hyperlinking, and here I have this F, which means that it's a feminine substantive, and if I click on it, then I get all the forms of the feminine substantive, kadambari. Kadambari, kadambari, indicative, kadambarim, and so on and so forth. And in the English dictionary, you have the same facility. Here, if I press this F at kadambari, I will get the same table of all the forms in singular, dual, plural, and in the 7 vibhaktis, 8 vibhaktis. Okay, and this vibhakti facility is available directly on the site here on the, if you click grammar, yes, then you can ask for the declension of kadambari, yes, this is feminine. And if you want to see it in Devanagari rather than in Romanized form, then you ask for Devanagari and you have the Devanagari table of vibhakti, okay? And you can go back to the dictionary by clicking here. Okay, so so you can see that here you have more information in French and less information in English, but what about the number of entries? Which dictionary is bigger? Here you have some yellow zone, and the yellow is like the shadow of Heritage Dictionary on Monier-Williams. So everywhere which is yellow, you have the corresponding entry in my dictionary, but some entries here are not yellow, so they are not available in the dictionary. However, most of these missing entries are compounds, like your kadambari bija, which means yeast. And if I pick it up and I look in my reader, so I'm going to look for a form like kadambari bijam. And if I look for that form, then it will work if I ask for romanization, yes. And now you see that it found kadambari bijam. It found 3 solutions. So what are these 3 solutions? You see that you have a kadambari yellow and a kadambari blue, and bijam, you have a bijam blue and a bijam cyan color. Okay. The blue means that it's a full word, it's a pada. So if I click on kadambari, here, see, you have under each of these colored rectangles, you have 2 signs. You have check and X. So if you click on check, then only one solution is kept, kadambari and bijam. So you have 2 words, and it's kind of hard to understand what this could mean. So this is probably not the right one. And if you click on the yellow now you have only one word, one pada, which is a compound. But you have 2 ways of forming this compound. Kadambari bijam. Bijam is a form of bija, which is neuter, napumsaka, either nominative or accusative. Nominative is pratama, subject. Accusative is vitiya, object. All right. Whereas here, this cyan color, it said that bija is, kadambari bijam is a vitiya of the masculine. Okay, so this is a Bovary compound, see? So this is not the seed of kadambari, it's he who is the seed of kadambari. Okay, so here this could make sense, for instance, as a qualifier of banana. See? So here we have two very different word formation. This one is a bija, it's a visheshya, whereas here it's a visheshanam. Okay, so it's a qualifier, it's like an adjective. Okay, so when you analyze text, you have to pay attention to these very different possible meanings of compounds as Tatpurusha or Bahuvri. All right, so the first exercise in understanding my system will consist in learning about these different colors. This yellow is for Pradipadika, because it's the first component of a possible compound. Okay, and here we have substantives, and here this is for Bahuvri. Okay, so we are going to learn the colors, and in order to learn the colors, we click here on this corpus access. So I have a little bit of corpus which lists, for instance, here we have a few subhashitas that are used in the dictionary. And here I have this hoisting the colors, which is a little course on how to understand the colors. All right. So these are very simple sentences. First one, Varshati. It's raining. So it's red. It's a verbal form. The verbal form, if you click on the rectangle, then you see its morphological analysis. See, it says it's a form of root vrish, to verse, to pour, or to rain. And this one stands for the category of the root, which is called buadi. So it has the same regime as the bu root. Okay. This is for present. Present is Vartamana. And ak is for active. Active because you may use your sentence in the active voice or in the passive voice. Passive voice is Karmana, Karmani Prayoga, and active voice is Kartari Prayoga. So it means you have to interpret the sentence either from the point of view of the agent or from the point of view of the patient. So here, this is the agent. So the agent is of the third singular. Singular is ek purusha, and this third stands for pratama, because in Sanskrit, the third person, what we call the third person in English, is actually the first, because it's the most frequent one. So this is pratama. So you have to get used to this terminology. But if there is enough interest, I can make my morphological markings in the same way as Amba Madam, and then this will be less confusing. Now let's continue reading in this little corpus. The next one is Vavarsha Rudiram. Oh, so here this is again red. So it's a verbal form. It's a verbal form of the same root vrish, but now it's in the perfect. It means it's in the past. It was raining. It was raining what? Rudiram. So now we see this blue color appear. See, this is the substantive. And Rudiram is blood. Okay, so it's raining blood. Okay, so here we have the two main colors. See, it's red for verbs and blue for substantives. Panini, in his grammar, in the beginning, he says, Supting antam padam. A padam, a word, is either a soup or a thing. The soup is blue, substantives, and the thing is red, it's verbs. All right. Now let us continue our reading. And the next one, now we have two blues, see? Because we have a transitive verb. Pibati is a form of drinking. See? The root is pa. Whose is drinking? See? This is pratama. And bhimha is also pratama. So bhimha is the agent. Bhimha is drinking. Is drinking what? Rudiram, blood. So here we take the dvitiyam. All right. So now you get the feeling of how to understand a simple verb with a transitive verb. Now we go to the next one. And this one, you're familiar with this because Amba Madam showed it to you in her course. Dasharata Putraha. Sorry, I have my phone ringing all the time. Dasharata Putraha, Ramaha, Ayoda Nagari, Koshat, Astena, Ramanaya, Dhanam, Dadati. Okay. So here this yellow is appearing. See? This shows that this is a compound. This Dasharata Putraha is a compound. So the segments are not padas. Here the yellow segments are pratipadika. They are first. We have to turn it off. I'm busy, try later. Okay. So here, how many words do we have in this sentence? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 10 rectangles, but only 8 padas. All right. So, now this is a good opportunity to see this feature U of H analysis mode. Okay, so if we press here, then by magic, we go to an interface to Saṃsādhanii, which you had the demonstration, see? So if I press here, then by magic, we are carried to University of Hyderabad software. Yes, what's happening? And we are waiting for the result here. Did I press it?
This might be little slow because you are running this WebEx, which takes a lot of memory, which
Oh,
consumes a lot
yes,
of
it's
memory.
all right.
So
So,
if you run it on your server,
yeah,
maybe it will run faster.
well, it is on, oh,
No, this one you are running on your machine, local machine.
let me, so here we have this opportunity here. Yes, I do the same thing here. So you can do it here. All right. Now, yes. Okay, so we have a race between the two machines. And all right, this way, you were right, this one was faster. Okay, so this shows, yes, that you get the benefits of Madame's parser. Okay, so you see, Saṃsādhanii is under the hood of Sanskrit heritage. In the same way that Sanskrit heritage segmenter is under the hood of Saṃsādhanii. Sorry. Amba, can you take over? I have some visitor.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So, uh, so here, what he has shown is from his website, you can go to the Anusarak web page. So now, let me share my screen. Just a minute.
Problème avec la porte?
I'm not able to.
Problème.
Uh,
Quel problème?
no, I'm not able to share my screen. There is a problem. How to do it? I cannot get claim over the screen.
Now you are the presenter, ma'am.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Allô,
Okay.
allô?
So,
Oui.
so
Ma'am,
let
you
me go
can
to.
mute sir's audio as well.
Can you mute it?
Yeah. Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am. It is done.
Yes. Yes. So now I have gone to Gerard Hewitt's website and now I am in Corpus. So you see here, of course, I can go through Reader also, but what he was demonstrating was the corpus. In corpus, he has several. Okay. Yes, here there is heritage citations and hoisting the colors. This was what he
Ma'am, we
was
are not able to see
demonstrating.
your screen.
Share the screen,
Sorry.
ma'am.
Oh, you are not able to. Oops. Okay. Okay. So I have gone to the corpus in Sanskrit inria.fr, and here the capacity reader, and I say okay. Under this, there are several things: heritage citations, hoisting the colors. We had selected hoisting the colors, and we read. And this is the sentence which he was demonstrating. Dasharatha putraha Ramaha Ayodhya Nagare Koshat Hastena Brahmanaya Dhanam Dadati. We continue reading. No, sorry. I made a mistake. We go to UOH analysis mode. So here what he has done is, for every sentence he has already selected what is the correct analysis at word level. Now how to select this manually, that he will demonstrate little later, but what he was demonstrating right now was, from here you can go to the University of Hyderabad analysis mode. So here what is happening is, see, there is one software which is at University of Hyderabad, the other software is at in France, and both of them are now communicating with each other. So when I submit, then the University of Hyderabad software gets activated, and it tries to show you the analysis. But the analysis that you see here, this is in Roman notation. If you would like to have it in Devanagari, we will see how to go about it. Okay, so uh, yes, so Gerard, if you are back, you can. Will you take it up? You are not audible. Sorry, you are not audible. I am giving you share option.
Okay, I put the sound, yes.
Yes, and you have the share option. You can share the screen now.
Sorry, everybody. So we were here, we are in Samsaadhanii, yes, and something which might be a little bit disturbing is that the colors are not exactly the same. So you have to get used to it. Yes, because here the colors are according to the vibhakti, whereas in my site, the color is the part of speech. So all the nouns have the same color blue, whatever is their vibhakti. All right. Now let us go back to our example, and we continue reading, yes, to go to the next. And the next will demonstrate this cyan color of the Bahuvrihi compound, see? Pitambaraha Vishnuhu, okay? So here, the Visheshya is Vishnu, and Pita Ambaraha is just Visheshana, it's an adjective, is he who has a yellow garment. All right? So the next is Pitambaram. And now Pitambaram is ambiguous. See? It may be a blue garment. Now this is Visheshya. Or it may be he who has a yellow garment with this cyan color. So here, this is Visheshana, adjective. Okay, so you choose one or the other. See, so what I show in the corpus is a partially disambiguated output of the reader, but here the reader has these two solutions. So when you're reading a text, you will have all the time this situation, you will have to choose the right segmentation because you have lots of ambiguities. What is the next one? Oh, now we have some more color appear. Now this is for adverbs. The avyaya. So here, adya, rama, abhimarutam charati. So today, this is an adverb, adya. And charati is walking, he walks. Who walks? Ramaha. And he works in what manner? See, this is now a special compound, which is called avyayibhava, coming to undeclinable. Abhimarutam means against the wind. So today Ram is walking against the wind. So these two come together, see, it's a compound. But it's a different compound from the one we saw before, Tatpurusha and Bahuvrihi. It's Avyayibhava, coming to undeclinable. Here is another one, Yatavridi. Yatavridi, it's a compound meaning according to the increasing. It means according to the phase of the moon. Another one is Yatavridam. It's according to seniority. So it's a very common way of making compound. It's Avyayibhava. Avyayibhava itself is a compound, but it's a compound of a different nature. It takes this avyaya, which is undeclinable, yes, and it makes a special E form, which may form a compound with the forms of the auxiliaries as bu or er. So here, avyayibhava is that which becomes undeclinable, and it's again one pada. It's a compound. So we have this orange color coming. What next? Oh, Green color. We have not seen green so far. This is vocative. Okay? Vocative is Samsaadhanii. It's invocation. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. See, these are just invocations. There is no sentence here. You're saying no sentence. You're just invoking Krishna. All right. Here I missed one, it's Vredi. See, we saw Yota Vredi with this magenta color Vredi. But Vredi by itself is not permissible. See? So it's a new color, it's black. Black means I don't understand. So how come? How come? Because we had Yota Vredi. So this Vredi is a form of Vredi for making this undeclinable, but it's not a form of the vibhakti of Vredi. See, if you look at the table of Vredi, you have Vredi he, Vrede, Vredim, and so on, but you don't have Vredi. Vredi is here only to form an adverbial compound, avyayibhava. Okay? All right. Now, we are at the end of the colors almost. Sa is a pronoun. Is he ram. So it's he. So the Praveśikā is tad, or which is the neuter form, and in the masculine, it gives you sa, and sa. See, you have this alternance of the forms of the pronoun, whether it's followed by a consonant or a vowel. So you have, we are about, oh, that's another one. This is Periphrastic Perfect. Okay. I don't have time to explain it. It's a form of the perfect for certain verbs, and it's periphrastic in the sense that it's a verbal compound. So here you have this new orange color, yes, and last color is like to Kam or Ram. So Ram wishes to talk. Wishes to speak. So this is a very special kind of compound, Vaktukama, and this is half verbal, half nominal. Vaktu is it's infinitive Vaktum, but without the M, and you can form this kind of compounds. So all right. Now. Here is a form patama patati, and the system does not know this form patama. But here in the local system, which is on my machine, I have a special facility which is called user aid, and if I click on it, then the system is intelligent. It goes in Monia Williams and it says, oh, there is an entry patama, and it suggests that this could be a form of this patama. Okay, so here, if I submit the morphology, oh, look, the black became blue. And now it has registered in a local cache the entry for patama. And patama is not in my lexicon, but it's in Monia Williams. It's a bird. Okay, so this permits to augment the lexicon dynamically when you do the reading. Now this facility is not available on the public site, of course, because you have this side effect of filling a side lexicon. But if you install the system on your own server, then you can have access to it. All right. Now I'm at the end of my presentation. this is a slesha. That is an ambiguity. Here we have Shveto Dhavati. Now Dhavati is he runs. And Shveta, if you take Shveta, then it makes perfect sense. It's the white, like a white horse is running. Okay? But you have this ambiguity that it might be a dog that is running here. Shveto Dhavati. So this example was discussed by Patanjali 2000 years ago. So this is not new. And this is actually rather frequent in literature. The poets took advantage of these ambiguities. So here is an example that is coined by the by Dandin, I think. Okay, Rajna, the king, this king, he is behaving in the way of the stars. Oh, so he is a very good king, yes? But if you choose this meaning here, this king is not following the way of the warriors. So he's not a hero, he's a bad king. Okay? So the poets took advantage to it, to have these double meaning statements. Very often I hear people who are very enthusiastic about Sanskrit that say, oh, Sanskrit is so precise, you know, there is no ambiguity. But here, this is a little sentence in which is one thing and its contrary. Okay, I will stop here. If you go at the top, then you have the access to the reference manual where you can learn more. And I think it's time for me to release the mic. Amber, can you take over?
Yes, sir. But will you please tell us how to use your reader? Directly giving input to your reader and how, because all the examples which you have shown are from your corpus.
No,
Which
I showed this when I showed the Kadambari.
so in the reader, in the reader,
Okay.
type in something or maybe copy paste from somewhere and show how to use the reader.
Yes. Okay. So
Shveto Dhavati itself we can take, or okay, fine.
here I take this whole sentence. So here it's in the corpus, so it has been disambiguated. Yes. Now if I look in the reader,
Will you please use the server, not your local machine?
yes, sure. All right. Now I'm reading in Devanagari. Yes. I want to display in Devanagari. Lexicon is Monia Williams. Okay.
Yes.
Now we are all ready. I read. Oh, and now instead of having one solution, I have 48,000 solutions. Yes. And for a large sentence, as Madame said, you know, it can be more than the number of bits on my machine. It can be more than the number of atoms in the universe, actually. Yes, this is very exponential. So here, here you have to select the correct path. Some of it is already disambiguated like this. Then see, the check is blue. You don't have the choice. There is only this one. And here is the same. Armanaya. Yeah? Who should you give to? You should give to the Brahman. Yes. Okay, so very often the right solution is at the top line, okay, like this asthena here. This asthena, by clicking on asthena, yeah, I'm doing here. There is all kind of possible noise with all kind of small words. So there is this negation here, but obviously what you mean is asana by the hand, okay? And so by clicking here, all this noise disappears. Yes. Similarly here, Koshat, okay, from his purse. Okay. Now this is a little bit more tricky. Nagare. Nagare is here. Okay. And Ayodhya, you have to know whether you want Ayodhya or Ayodhya. So here you want Ayodhya. And here we have a problem because this Ayodhya Nagare could be Ayodhya Nagare. See, it could be a privative compound here with a. Okay, so this is just noise, and you suppress the noise by clicking on the red cross. Okay, so this is the only case where you actually need this negative information. Otherwise, you do it positively. And here, Ramaha, you have an ambiguity between the verb and the noun. Here you want Ramaha, substantive. And here you want Putraha. And here you want Dasharatha Putraha. So here, in a few clicks, you had 30,000 possible solutions. But just by going on the top line, and if I know what I'm doing, then it's very quick. Okay, so this is the way I've built my corpus. It's by using the reader with a special mode, in the corpus mode, where I can create and store my my corpus. Okay. What else should I say? Let me make a little sales pitch. Yes. First, some negative comment is that you're free to use this site, but you have no guarantee at all. Yes, so don't blame it on me, please. If something does not work, it's at your risk. But the good news is that the software is free. And it's free in 3 ways. It's free in that you don't have to pay to use the service. Yes. And we don't throw commercials at you. And we don't keep any information about you. And we don't write cookies on your machine. Okay? Then it's free in the sense that it is free source. You can go at my GitLab site and look at all the source and understand the theory behind this this software and finite state technology that it uses. And it's even free in a third sense that you can actually download, you can pull this from this GitLab and install the system on your own server. I mean, you must be you must have a minimum of computer science expertise in order to do that. This is not as easy as installing an app on your telephone, but it's possible, and then you get the benefit of having the possibility of creating your own corpus and storing it, and this user aid facility that I demonstrated so that you can increase the basic generative lexicon with a cache, which is constructed progressively from your readings. I don't know if there is anything else I want to say. Let me go quickly here on this. The top brings you to the top of the site. And here you have the reference manual. The reference manual you can read in order to understand all the pitfalls in which you may fall. Yes. And you have a little explanation of what is the basic algorithm. See here on this finite state diagram, I explain a simplified view of what is a Sanskrit sentence. First, you understand what's a word, a pada. A pada, you start from the top and you go to the bottom and you follow a path. Okay? And here, this is a tin path, and here, this is the soup path, and here, this is the avyaya path, and you have pronouns, and here it tells you that you can make a compound, and you can make a multi-component compound that finishes either with a visheshya or a visheshana. Okay? And here you have the various verbal forms. Here are the absolutives. All right? And this is simplified. Here is a more extended one in which I explain how to make privative compounds with a in front of consonants or with an in front of vowels. All right? And if you want the full glory complete automaton, here it is. See, it's more complex. So this manual tells you also how to install the Heritage Engine on your own server, how to download the Git repositories, and it even gives my email address. So because I appreciate any feedback. If you have feedback, either positive or negative, then I'll be glad to hear about it so that we can improve the tools. Yes, you have an FAQ here. This stemmer is useless because it's subsumed by the reader. This grammar tool gives you vibhakti order of nouns and verbs. This Sandy tool is useless. The corpus you can read. I would advise to go into Qatar and then to read the Vikramacharita. I have one of the chapters of Vikramacharita, which is here, and it's a very short text. It's only 39 sentences, and these are very simple sentences, but they give you a lot of usual vocabulary, everyday vocabulary, and it's a short, funny story. So it's a very good introduction to the tools. All right, and I'm sorry this shows only in romanization, but with little effort I can make a Devanagari version of this corpus. Okay, but I think that's all I want to say about my site.
Thank you very much. Will you please unmute yourself? Sorry, mute yourself. Hello. Now, are you audible? Am I audible?
Yes, yes, we can hear
Oh, okay.
you.
So there was some problem. Okay, thank you. So thank you for this introduction to your website, and I'm sure now uh, the participants have got some confidence regarding the color scheme that you're using. As you have also mentioned, the color scheme is a bit different from the one which I am using. So uh, okay, so now let me come back to uh, where we left in the previous class. We were looking at the Karaka analysis, and we had not seen or we had not discussed all the Karaka relations. So today I am not Karaka, sorry, the Karaketar relations, the relations which are not Karaka relations. About them, we have not discussed much. So today I am going to say something more on that part. So, well, now all of you know that in this, can you see my screen? Uh,
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So here on this website, all of you know, you can go to the notes, and on like under lecture 13, already the dependency tag set in English and Sanskrit and the list of relations that we have used have been uploaded. These dependency tag sets in the manual for dependency tag set is available in English and Sanskrit, and it's available on Samsaadhanii website also. So you can go to corpus under corpus tagging guidelines, and in tagging guidelines you have these Karaka tagging guidelines. Okay, so you can the dependency guidelines. Let me go to the server I was showing from my local machine. So here you have Karaka tagging guidelines, and you have the English version. Similarly, Sanskrit link is also there. Oh, sorry, this is again, I have gone to Sanskrit Inriya FR. Sorry. So let me go to Sanskrit uhyd.ac.in, and here I go to corpus tagging guidelines, and we have the version 3 English and Sanskrit. So those who want to know more about each of these relations, I am opening the Sanskrit version. You can open the English version as well, and here you will see the all the relations, discussions about all the relations. What is karta, how it is marked, okay, with various examples, kartari prayoga, karmani prayoga. And then you have here ramasya gamanam, where you have kartru karmano kruti, those who know the Panini Sutras. Ramasya gamanam, Rama again is the karta of the gamana kriya. Then there are various other sentences. Bhava Lakshana Saptami, somebody was asking. This is same as Sati Saptami. So an example is there, and how the relations are marked. So what I would suggest you is those who would like to know more about each of these relations can go through this and make your own notes, because you may not need to go through each of these again and again. You can make a note, your own notes, and refer to this as and when required for whichever relations you want. So this is in Sanskrit. Similarly in English also we have these relations. Now some of you were asking about the non-karaka relations. So karta, karma, karana, apadana, sampradana, and adhikarana. These 6 relations are the Karaka relations, which are the relations between a noun and a verb. Now we have Karaketara Sambandha, that is those which are different from Karakas. And among these, some important Karaketara Sambandhas I will explain today. One is a Purvakala Sambandha. Now, what is this Purvakala Sambandha? Purvakala is the relation between, so if there are two activities which are described in the sentence, one activity suppose precedes the other activity. For example, here Ramaha Dugdham Pitva Shalam Gacchati. The activity of going to school happens afterwards, and before that, drinking of milk by Ram is taking place. So, the relation between these two activities, Pitva and Gacchati, we mark as Purvakala Sambandha. Okay. Then there is another Sambandha, Vartaman Samanakala. Now, here we have Balakaha Jalam Piban Gacchati. So we can analyze it as Balakaha Gacchati. The boy is going, boy goes. And how he is going? While he is drinking milk, drinking water, he is going. So Balakaha Jalam Piban Gacchati. So this activity of Piban, activity of drinking, is happening simultaneously with the activity of Gamanakriya. Both the things are happening simultaneously. So here we mark it as Vartaman Samanakala. There is another sentence, Balakaha Shayanaha Hasati. So the child is sleeping, but when he is sleeping, he is smiling. So Balakaha Shayanaha Hasati. So here we have these two activities happening simultaneously. And then there is activity Bhavishyat Kal. Very rarely we get it, so I just skip it and go ahead. The next one is Saha Gantum Shaknoti. He can go. So this can is an auxiliary verb. In English we call it auxiliary verb. Similarly in Sanskrit we have Gantum Shaknoti. The Gantum and Shaknoti, the relation is of Sahayak Kriya. And Saha is the Karta for this. Then we have Sambodhya and Sambodhana Suchaka. Again, there is, this is different from the Karaka Sambandha, and already we have seen several examples. Pashyetam Panduputranam Acharya. So their Acharya is related to Pashya by the Sambodhya Sambandha. Similarly here, Bho Rama Mam Uddhara. Ram and Uddhara, there is Sambodhya relation. And what is Bho? Bho is Sambodhana Suchakam. Okay. So the Sambandha here is Sambodhana Suchakam, and Mam Uddhara, this is the karma. Another relation which is non-karaka relation is Hetu. So for example, Vidyarthi Adhyayanena Vidyalaye Vasati. So Adhyayanena is the reason for the student to stay in the Vidyalaya. So the reason or the cause is marked as Hetu. It is called, it is this relation between Adhyayana and Vasati, Adhyayanena and Vasati is marked as Hetu. Then we have Prayojana. Aham Yogashastram Pathitum Vidyalayam Gacchami. So, what is the purpose to for me to go to the Vidyalaya? It is to study Yoga Shastra. So, Pathitum Gacchami. The relation between Pathitum and Gacchami, Pathitum is Prayojana. Then we have similar sentences. I will skip all of them. And Kartru Samanadhikarana, now we have seen it several number of times. So Devadatta Adhyapaka Asti. So Devadatta is the Karta and Adhyapaka is Kartru Samanadhikarana. Okay. Then there is Karma Samanadhikaran, which is a rare kind of relation. So I will skip that. Then we have the Kriya Visheshanam. Hasti Marge Mandam Gacchati. So Mandam is the Kriya Visheshana for Gacchati. Mrugaha Vegena Dhavati. Vegena is the Kriya Visheshana for Dhavati. Then similarly, Brahmanavat Ramaha Adhite. Now see this Brahmanavat. This one we have seen earlier also. One example in the examination was asked. Kaunsaha Ravanavat Acharitavan. So Kaunsaha Ravanavat, like Ravana. Similarly, Brahmanavat, like Brahmana, Ramaha Adhite. So this Brahmanavat is marked as a Kriya Visheshana with Adhite. So Ram studies like a Brahmana. So there is a Kriya Visheshana Sambandha between Brahmanavat and Adhite. Then Pratishedha. This is a Nishedha, negation. Ghataha na asti. Or let me take another better example. Saha dugdham na pibati. So the relation between na and pibati is pratishedha. That is a negation. And then we have another important non-karaka relation, karaketara sambandha, that is the shashti sambandha. Adhyapakasya pustakam chhatraha pathanti. So the relation between adhyapaka and pustaka, this is shashti sambandha. Similarly, we have various things like angavikara. Balaha akshanaha kanaha vartate. He is uh, he can't see with one eye. Okay. Balaha akshanaha kanaha. So the relation between akshanaha and kanaha, this is marked as angavikara, and always there will be tritiya vibhakti. Uh, like in Hindi also we have balak aankh se kana hai, aankh se andha hai. Okay. So you have here aankh se andha. That is the tritiya vibhakti. He is blind with one eye. Then vipsa we have already seen, and visheshana also all of you know. All these are non-karaka sambandhas. Karaka sambandha is between a noun and a verb, and there are only 6 karaka sambandhas, karaka relations: karta, karma, karana, sampradana, apadana, and adhikarana. All other relations are non-karaka sambandha or karakaitara sambandha. Important of them are hetu, prayojana, then Purvakala, which we get very often, Visheshana, Shashti Sambandha. These are some of the important relations. Similarly, Kartru Samanadhikarana. And Abheda also we have seen. Sometimes for the Visheshanas themselves are marked in 3 different ways. Some are marked as Visheshanas, some are marked as Abheda, and some are marked as the Kartru Samanadhikarana. Kartru Samanadhikarana, as earlier also I said, when there is a Vidheya Visheshana, we use Kartru Samanadhikarana. And the Abheda Sambandha, when do we use this one? For example, the relation between Putra and Rama. Dasharathasya Putraha Ramaha. Both of them are one and the same. Similarly, Acharya Drona. The relation between Acharya and Drona will be that of Abheda. Or Ramasya Pita Dasharatha. So the relation between Pita and Dasharatha. So all these relations will be the Abheda Sambandhas, where you are using the kinship terms, that is the words which denote the human relations, mata, pita, bandhu, bhagini, etc., or guru, shishya, acharya. In such cases, we use abheda as the sambandha. Okay. Then these are special relations I am skipping. Well, there is one more important relation which we need is nirdharanam. Nirdharana is, let me explain with the example itself. Ramaha kshatriyeshu shuraha asti. So among the kshatriyas, Ram is shura. Ram is, so here among the kshatriyas, so what you are doing is there is a group of persons, and from them you are um, taking somebody out and showing what are the qualities in that person. So in such cases, the nirdharanam, this sambandha is used. Again, other sambandhas I am skipping. Eva, we have, well, this one looks like older version because we have now upamana and upameya. We have not yet incorporated those relations here, but we would prefer to have upamana and upameya when eva is there. Chandraha iva mukham pashya. Mukham pashya. So mukham is the karma, and between chandraha iva and mukham, we will mark Chandraha as the Upamana for Mukham and Iva as the Upamana Dyotaka. So this is the old version of uh, our manual. We need to incorporate that. Okay. The other relations I will not go through because these are very specific to some kind of usages which are there, which occur very rarely. So I will not go through those right now. At least in Raghuvamsha, I am sure such relations would not be there. Then we have the Sahartha, Ramena Saha Sita Vanam Gacchati. So here again, this figure is the old one. Sita Vanam Gacchati. This is the main sentence. Sita is the karta, Vana is the karma. And Ramena Saha will be marked as, Rama will be marked as Saha Karta. So Rama is also Karta, but the Mukhya Karta is Sita. Sita Vanam Gacchati. And Rama is the Saha Karta for Sita. So this is how this is marked. And Saha, it just tells you it's a Dyotaka. So there are a few relations where this manual is a bit older one, and our parser gives some different kinds of relations. But these are only 2-3 relations, or in all other cases, this manual is fine. Okay, so I will not go through the other relations. What I will now do is give you some instructions regarding uh, some idea about how we are going to proceed from next week onwards. We will be sending you the detailed instructions, but I thought I will also share something live with all of you. First thing, the question paper, as some of you were asking for a supplementary or improvement exam. So today the question paper will be out, will be available from today evening till Friday evening. So whenever you have time, try to attempt that question paper, and we will be selecting four best mark scores out of 5 for your grading. This is one thing, one announcement. Second, uh, almost 90% of you have responded to the volunteers, but still there are few people who have not yet responded to the volunteers regarding the group formation, etc. So those who have not responded yet, please do so as early as possible, because from Thursday onwards we are starting the project work. So uh, you need to decide the tech leader as well as language leader among yourself, and also you need to know each other, know who is good at what, so that you can take benefit of your uh, each other's uh, positive aspects, or the things in which you are good at. You can help others in completing the project as a teamwork. Of course, volunteers will be there, but don't burden volunteers with too many questions. Try to resolve your questions and doubts among yourselves first. Take maximum benefit of this group formation. And in most of the cases, wherever you wanted specific partners, we have assigned those partners to you, so that you can discuss among yourself. Now, what we will be doing is, on 25th, we will be assigning shlokas to each group. And while assigning the shlokas, we will see how many members are there in each group. So, depending on the number of members, the shlokas will differ from group to group. Every person will get 2 shlokas. Okay, so if there are 5 persons in the group, there will be 10 shlokas allotted to your group, and those shlokas will be sent to the team leader, the technical leader. The technical leader in turn will assign these shlokas to each of you. Then what you will be doing is, you will first try to understand the shloka, see where the sandhi and samasa padas are there, try to split them, and for doing this, you can use the segmenter. So once you know what is the best split, then you can invoke University of Hyderabad website with that, or if you have done this manually, you can directly feed that particular text with splittings, etc., with proper hyphens in between the compound components, to the University of Hyderabad server, Samsaadhanii server. And then you get the analysis. After getting the analysis, you try to save the annotation, and annotation will be saved as an Excel sheet. Once you have that Excel sheet with you, then in that you can add more information. What kind of information needs to be added, I will be telling actually with some demonstration on Wednesday. So and then once you are satisfied with this analysis, what I would also suggest you is, you exchange your notes with other members of your group. Try to get uh, the opinion of others, and of course language leader will be helping you in getting the correct analysis and all that. And once you are, all of you as a team are satisfied with it, then through the tech leader you will be handing over the sheet, the Excel sheet, to the volunteer. We will give you around 15 days for doing this. Each one of you will have only 2 shlokas, and you have 15 days to ponder upon it, to think over and understand the shloka. What we want is, you understand at least these two shlokas thoroughly, very well. You should understand them very well. Try to understand the word meaning, try to understand the vibhakti, try to understand the relations between words. If they are compounds, try to understand what type of compound it is. If there is a sandhi between the words, try to understand which sandhi rule is used there. All these we have taught you. So try to understand whole sentence from all these various perspectives, and then you will be, of course you will also be referring to the dictionary so that you can understand the original Sanskrit through your mother tongue, and if possible you can even translate it into your mother tongue, so that the others who do not know Sanskrit well can through this understand what is there in the Raghuvamsham, in that shloka. Once you do all these things and you are satisfied, and you pass it on to the Excel sheet to the volunteer, and volunteer then collects all these Excel sheets, and then what we will do is we will create a e-reader. You have seen the Bhagavad Gita e-reader. So like this we will be developing a e-reader for Raghuvamsham. So see, all these pages are static, but once you go here, Prathamadhyayaha, when you click on the shloka, you should get complete analysis. And from where this complete analysis will be obtained? From the sheet which you have created. Okay. So now uh, you have seen that many a times you give a shloka to machine and machine fails to analyze it. Sometimes you get gray colored words or white words, uh, words without any color, etc. So in such cases, what do? You will have to try different ways. Either drop that word and try to see if you can analyze it properly, then try to guess what can be that word. Okay, if, because machine is now failing, machine has failed to give you analysis. Maybe the word which is not analyzed in Saṃsādhanii, it may get analyzed in the heritage website. You go there and try to get the analysis. Or if a word fails there, you come to the University of Hyderabad website, Samsaadhanii website, and try it there. So you will have to use both these websites very efficiently. You should know what each of these can do best, and try to use these both the websites to understand the shloka. So if machine fails and you do not get complete analysis, you will at least get partial analysis from the machine, such as the morphological analysis, that is the Shabda Vishleshana. And then you will have the dictionary linking available. So you go to the dictionary, try to understand and see if you can establish relations like karta, karma, etc., which machine has failed to establish. If you can give those relations, that will be good. So try to complete this Excel sheet with all the required information. Wherever machine has failed, you will be doing it manually. Okay. And if machine produces the parse, it is not necessary that first parse itself is the correct. You may have to go to the table, select the correct relation, etc. Again, we have done some exercises on this also, how to go and select the correct pass. So with all these things, various things you will be exploring, and then you will be preparing this Excel sheet. And here the what are the duties, then what are the responsibilities of tech leader and language leader? Language leader will be trying to help others to understand the shloka. Of course, I'm not saying that language leader should know each and everything. It may happen that sometimes the language leader may not be knowing something, but the other person may know it. So language leader actually is, will try to uh, facilitate by looking at various um, various resources that are available. Maybe the language person, if he has some access to the translation of Raghuvamsha in other languages, he can refer to that and try to understand what is it and then convey it to others. Similarly, tech leader, whenever there are some technical problems, try to provide solutions to the group members and so on. So main responsibilities of the language and tech leaders are to facilitate and make the communication among each of us, each of the members in the group, uh, uh, as easy as possible, so that at the end, all of you together as a group provide the analysis of the shlokas that are assigned to you. Okay. So so after you submit all these Excel sheets, what we will do, our volunteers, what they will do is they will prepare this interface, and then you will have the analysis of each shloka available to all of you. So if you submit it after 15 days, so maybe around 5th or 6th of April, by before 10th of April, we will make this interface available to each of you. So each of you can go through this website and click on any shloka and get the analysis. And there, then the second part of the uh, project starts. We will then assign each of you 4 shlokas, which are not analyzed by you or your group, but by persons from other groups. And for these 4 shlokas, you will have to see what is the analysis the person has given. And if the analysis is wrong, you will have to report to us saying that in shloka number 1, this analysis is wrong and it should be like this. So this is your second uh, phase of the project. So in the first phase, you are doing the analysis. In the second phase, you are evaluating the analysis of 2 other persons in your among the participants, not necessarily not from your group, but from other groups. And then based on the performance in both these, we will be assigning you the score. Okay. So this second phase also will last for 15 days, and based on the suggestions, improvements which uh, the in the second phase you will be suggesting, we will be improving upon these annotations, and then this will be open, available to all. It will be available on our website, so that anybody who is interested in this can have a look at the Raghuvamsha analysis. So you will be contributing to such a e-reader after at the end of 1 month. We I'm hoping we will have complete e-reader for Raghuvamsha. So there will be one more entry here after Shishupala, which will be your contribution. Okay. So this is what we are aiming at. So in the next class on Wednesday, I will take 2 or 3 examples, and I will walk through each of these stages, what we will be doing, and when we have any problem, how to overcome those problems or follow various paths, so that we get the correct analysis of the sentence, etc., or sloka. This is what we will be doing on Wednesday. And Saturday, as usual, we will have the WebEx. But during this WebEx, now the volunteers will be there from each group, and you will be communicating with the volunteers. There will be various rooms, and you will be communicating with the volunteers in these WebEx rooms. So for this purpose, we are also suggesting different time. Of course, same time zones are there: 9 to 10, 5 to 6, and 9 to 10 in the night. But the depending on in which group you are, etc., the these timings will be different. So please go through the email which we will be sending either today or tomorrow, giving all these instructions, because there will be some difference in the time zone for the webex, for the timing for the webex for each of you, depending on which, in which group you are. And of course we have taken into consideration the various countries in which you are, so that so that you don't have to the timing is not odd. But for since we had uh, those who are less than 30 or 30 to 50 and above 50, we have three different time zones. That may not happen now, because in a group we have people of different age groups. Okay, so all of every group has somebody who is less than 30, somebody who is between 30 and 50, and somebody who is above 50. So you will have to look at what is your time for your webex meeting. Of course the volunteers will also be in touch with you, and volunteers will be part of these webex meetings. So on Wednesday, let us meet at 6 o'clock again. And after that, the next meeting will be uh, through WebEx on Saturday. So this is what I want to share with all of us. Anybody, Saraswat? Yes, sir. Sir, you wanted to ask something? You are muted.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can. Yes.
Yes, I would like to add two things to my presentation.
Okay.
The first one is the URL.
Yes.
Okay? This is the correct URL if you want to access to the English
Just
site.
just a minute, sir. You need to share your screen. Just a minute.
Yes,
Let
yes.
me give you share permission. Um, yeah, now you have share permission.
All right. So here is the correct URL for getting my site in English. Okay.
Hmm.
So please make a note of it. Okay. The other remark I wanted to say is that one of the participants of the last session complained that some sentence was not parsing. Okay, so here I'm showing the sentence, and this is a common situation that you will run into. You will get some black areas, so the black areas are not understood. Now this may come from two origins. One may be that we have made some typing mistake, or maybe the corpus is a little bit wrong or whatever, yes? So I have to correct the corpus in that case. And the other one is incompleteness of my generating dictionary. So here this example is interesting because it has examples of the two problems. One, the Krishnam is not recognized because you have to put the sentence in terminal sandhi. So this should be an M and not anuswar. All right? And here this Kamsa Chanura Bardhanam, you can recognize Bardhanam and Kamsa, but in the middle, add a missing entry. So for me, it's rather easy to add such an entry. So now I'm demonstrating on today's site the same sentence. See? If you read it, if you put Krishnam with an M, then it will parse the right thing, and then you get this Chanura with some goon in the service of Kamsa, and then Krishna is Krishnam Devam, Vasudeva Sutam, Devaki Paramahandanam. Anandam. So very nice sentence. Probably for Bhagavatam. I don't know. Okay, that's all I wanted to say.
Okay, so thank you very much. So this was one of the sentence one of our participants had tried, and it failed. So she had complained about it, which I
Yes.
had forwarded to you. Good, thank you very much. So
Excellent.
and I would also suggest all the participants, if you come across such things, please do not hesitate to contact us.
Yes.
We will immediately try to rectify the problems. Even on behalf of Professor Hue, Gerard Hue, I am promising this. So please get back to us with whatever difficulties or whatever problems you are facing. Okay. Okay. So thank you very much. And we can now end the session. May I request uh, Arjun to.
Mahodaya, I have a doubt.
Oh,
Can I ask?
yes, please.
Ma'am, on Sunday, Saturday's WebEx, you had told you'll be sending a document about the role
Yes.
of each leader and
Yeah.
also the guidelines, basically. So will you be sending a document for that?
Yes. Today itself. Either today or tomorrow, we will send it.
Okay. So in that document, will you be mentioning about this one, how we give our Excel sheets? Because
Yes.
because
Every.
five of us are going to work. Is it
Yeah,
consolidated into one or five
yeah,
different?
everything we will write in
Hmm.
that. Uh, one document already is ready, and we are sending it on Wednesday. If you still have any doubts, we can have the discussions, and even next WebEx meetings. If you have further doubts, we can have a meeting discussions, and you have 15 more days. So in case you have any uh, problems in uploading, etc., we will give further guidelines, detailed guidelines also. Okay.
Dhanyavada.
Yeah. Any other question? Fanishri, Annapurna, do you have any doubt?
Namo Namaha Mahodaya.
Namaste.
When I was doing in Professor Huyet's website the declension,
Huh?
if we give the proper root, it comes very well. But for example, if I give Naman, it gives declension correctly only. But if for example I don't know Naman and I give Nama, for that also it will give declension, which is wrong actually.
Yeah. So here, see, the decline, maybe uh, Professor Hewitt is here. Let him
Yes.
answer. Yes.
Yes, you're right to point out this problem. Yes, is that you have to spell the entry with the exact Pratipadika. So for the Naman and not Nama, and worst of all is that sometimes there is a homonymy index. So there are two entries which are synonymous, which are homonymous, but only one of them will give the right declension. Okay, so the good way to ensure to have a correct declension is to start from the lexicon. So you first look in the lexicon and then you click on the morphological marks, M, N, or N, according to masculine, feminine, or neuter. Or if it's a verb, you make sure that you're clicking on the right root if there are two roots with the same name. And only then will you will get the correct answer. So, so this grammatical tool is a little bit misleading. Many people don't understand this problem, and so they think the declension is wrong. The declension is certified if you start from the dictionary entry. Otherwise, you can get any nonsense.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Okay. Any other doubt? Okay. So if there are no more doubts, maybe Arjun, can we end with the Shanti Mantra? Looks like Arjun is not there. Sanjeev?
ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः 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 सर्वेभ्यो नमः।